Yeah, I feel like your hands are always clammy.
Great way to start this week.
Austin just runs on clammy hands.
And now they're
shake
going to...
Austin's hand. It's like fucking sweat.
Welcome to the B.A.D podcast with Derek, Brad, and Austin, where we talk about random shit, and that's it.
Okay, let's go.
They just got worse from that, so thank you. It made me self-conscious about my own
As soon as you
sweaty
start
hands.
thinking about it, they just start fucking...
Yes, they're dripping.
Yeah, it's WAP. Some wet-ass palms. Yeah, just constant.
It's bad.
Yeah.
Jeez. I feel like Brad takes it... he tries to make a WAP joke as like every chance he gets.
Yeah, I made the WAP joke for Max on his painting. Like, I made that joke, and he literally...
I don't follow Max.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I didn't see it either.
So, ooh.
Yeah. Some people should, like, some people's stuff just doesn't pop up sometimes.
Yeah, I do. But I also just don't follow a lot of people, and yeah. So I kind of see everything that I want to see. That's why I don't follow a lot of people, though. If you follow everybody, you don't see, like, you don't see everything.
I have no interest in what he does, really.
I do think, I think it puts the people you, like,
interact with most.
Yeah,
probably. I agree.
It's 2 likes already. I got to stop this shit.
He caught himself. Hey, at least you caught yourself.
Well, I'm going to say so a million times, and that's just what it is.
Austin sent me the recap or whatever, and I said like probably like 80 times.
I mean, we can make a like counter if you'd like for us to. And just like ding it, and then every time, and then you'll just be super self-conscious about it.
I already have. Like right now, I'm just...
If you're about to say it, just pause.
It's really hard to get away from saying things.
Your fillers. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
like a habit.
I mean, I think you can say that because you are actually drawing
a
comparison. So to say like something, but I think a lot of times people do it as a filler word because we're just so used to hearing constant talking that whenever we're trying to like catch up in our mind, it's the word that we throw out there to like buy ourselves a couple extra seconds.
And right there, you really wanted to say, but you didn't.
Yeah. I definitely say a lot. Don't
yes.
Is mine, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so I feel like I say so a lot, but I don't know. But would definitely be the one.
I was gonna post that. I was gonna post that highlight that you sent me, and I said likes too many times. So I'm not posting that shit. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that.
Well, we could put a like counter on it, and then you could post it and be like, "This is really cool," and I say like way too much.
Ding, 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 ding. Yeah, us as humans, we think that silent space is awkward, so we try to fill that. I learned that in one of my speech classes and like through journalism that I studied. Like being a news on the news is like we try to fill that dead space because it's awkward.
Not just that. Also, you do it because you don't want someone to interrupt your story or train of thought, and a lot of times a pause is a chance for someone else to like jump in. And so by like doing like or whatever, you're buying yourself so much more time. You don't get interrupted.
You're saying, "Hey, I'm still talking.
Yeah,
don't fucking cut me off."
Yeah,
interrupting Cal. Moo.
I watched a video and someone said that when you start using your hands, it's easier too because you can use your hands as a way to stop people, and like the pauses for dramatic effect. Like, okay, now you can speak.
Hang on.
Anyway,
and I'm done.
Yeah. So, topic
today.
Yeah.
Today,
I had a good topic, and so my topic today, I wanted to talk about like transitioning from. So for Austin and I'd be transitioning from playing sports our entire life to after sports, and I feel like you could probably relate with like the military, just having that constant something like sports. It's like you have the constant organization, the structure, and it's just something on a day-to-day basis. But for me, like when sports were over for me, I felt lost. So. And I don't know if you felt that way with the military or not. I don't know if Austin felt that way, but I felt like it was something that we could all three probably relate to in some way. So I feel like that would be a good topic to talk about.
Because it becomes a part of your like identity.
Yeah.
And then when you lose that part of your identity, you don't really... And it's ironic that you wanted to talk about this only because I spoke to one of my friends recently, like literally this week. So, and he sold his businesses recently. And he said that he felt lost and almost depressed because he felt like he lost his identity because he was, Adam, the business owner, and he owned, this business, this business, and this business. And when he sold them to like pursue other things, he lost that identity of being this like entrepreneur because he didn't have anything going on right then. And he said it was very hard for him because everyone knew him as, Adams and the Slim Chickens, or Adams and the Sonics, and Adams and US Lawns, or the CrossFit Gym when he owned the CrossFit Gym.
Now he's just Adam.
Yeah, now he's just Adam. Well, I mean, he just closed on like 130.
Adam, the apartment guy.
I don't doubt.
Yeah.
I don't doubt he's making moves. But.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny that you want to talk about that because he did talk about how depressed he was, and he was also in the military too, and he transitioned out. So we kind of talked a little bit about that already. So I think it's just interesting timing, but I also think it's very relevant because you also see people get into relationships and they lose their identity in the relationship, and they start to get really unhappy if they don't have that other person. They almost like put their entire happiness into this like relationship instead of on themselves. So it can be very difficult as well when you kind of lose your identity. So
yeah, and I think it'd be good to kind of talk about that and then transition into growing as a person and just it's a part of your growth of life. But for me, so I mean, I played sports my entire life. Literally started when I was 5 playing football. Played sports all through middle school, high school, and then I ran track in college. And I can remember my very last track meet. Like it was over, I already had my job lined up and everything. Like I graduated, but for some reason, like that last track meet, I was driving home after it, and I just started bawling my eyes out. Like I don't know why. I was just like so sad. I was like, this is it. I don't have sports anymore. And I felt like really lost. Like you're saying, I felt like I lost my identity, or like I didn't know who I was without sports. So yeah, I just
when you're introduced at college, would people be like, "Oh, this is Derek. He's on the track team."
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean,
that's how.
Well, when it's not really. It's weird because you have orientation with all the athletes. So like from the jump, you're just you meet all the athletes, and like all the athletes are just friends. Like that becomes your circle and your group. So you're all kind of like in it together, and then obviously you meet friends in classes and stuff. But yeah, that's your identity through college. Like you're going to class and I was wearing all my gear, had my
travel gear,
matching suits. I had the shoes. Like you could tell athletes by like everybody had the burnt orange shoes. It's like, oh, he's an athlete.
Oh, they're in sweats and a sweatshirt.
Yeah, you just had like the look, and yeah, so
you were introduced obviously like oh, this is Austin. He's on the football team, or he's a wide receiver.
Yeah. So unlike Derek, like he went to a bigger school. Our school was small, so like everybody knew what you kind of did, and it was like, oh yeah, he plays football. He does this. He does that. So.
And so you felt like it was always like attached to your name.
Yeah.
Like you weren't Austin, you were Austin the football player, Austin the wide receiver, and you weren't Derek, you were Derek the track
athlete,
the track guy or the athlete.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
but then when you graduate, it's like, fuck. What now?
Do you feel like flag football has kind of filled that void for you? Because I know that flag football is like really important to you, and I know like for you it's golf. So is that how you've kind of filled that void? Or
yeah. So for me, like I didn't find flag football right away. So after college, I moved, and I got a job with the Astros, and I thought that was going to be my way to stay like connected to sports, and that's really why I wanted to do it because, I was like, oh, if I can't go pro myself, I'm go work for a professional team. Like that's just as good. It wasn't just as good. It sucked. I don't know. I was just miserable and like
because then you felt like you were on the outside looking in.
On the outside looking in.
Felt like you were missing out.
Watching sports and like I don't know when it's your dream. When you grow up playing sports, obviously I don't know if this is everybody, but your dream is like to be a professional athlete.
Well, yeah, I think it's everyone's dream. Like I think everyone,
90%
most people realize they're probably not going to achieve it, but like I think that everyone dreams. I mean, even I like played Pee Wee football. I was like,
I'm making it big.
This. I'm going to be there one day.
Even when I was at Texas running track, I always would be like, man, should I just walk on the football team just to see, Because I had faith that I probably would have made it, but I was just I don't know why I never took that.
Well,
that
I mean,
risk.
you do have a like natural height and size that you probably, and you're fast, so like you probably could have played some position.
I would meet dudes and he's like, "Yeah, I'm a walk on." I'm like, you made the team?
Yeah.
Like, fuck, dude, what am I doing?
I'll just tell you right now, like,
there's a few people, bro. They're like,
I
you
know,
made the
yeah.
fucking team.
as big as you are, like,
doing?
I still wouldn't want to be hit by some 6'4",
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
250-pound middle
that's
linebacker,
different. Yeah,
you know, or
outside
whatever.
difference.
I don't know whatever position you were playing. There's some big dude that be hitting you, and I don't want to. Yeah.
I know. I got rocked in high school. I got rocked a few times.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought the transition to, you know, working for a professional sports team would kind of fill that void for me, and it didn't. Luckily, I started just working out, and I think that's where a lot of people find that that filler, I guess, is working out. But even then, I didn't feel like it was like taking that competitive itch that I had and feeling that. So yeah, I was like, what can I do? And I found flag football, so I just started playing I literally joined like a free agent with a local team, and then just started playing, and then made some good friends, and then started bumping around the teams, and then found a pretty good team, and they all became really good friends. And I really do feel like that did fill that void. It's still not the same, but it's still like, you know.
And also too, it's just like a realization that like, even though you are an athlete and you ran track, like that's not that's not all about you,
Right.
you know, because I think a lot of times that the problem is that we let a small piece of our life define all of us.
Yeah.
It's kind of like what I talked about a lot with fitness. A lot of people are like, oh, you're a fitness Instagram. And I'm like, no. Fitness is a part of my life, and it's a major part of my life. Like, it's something I don't want to get rid of, but it's literally 2 hours max of my day. And that's including meal prep and so you really look at that, that's like not even 10%.
Yeah.
You know, 2 hours out of 24 is not even 10%. So even if you said it was 2.5 hours, you could go, okay, it's arguably only 10% of my life. Like, okay, and now you can argue that Aubrey and I do like online coaching, and so it does take up more than that 10%, but still, it's not even half of my life. So I don't like being labeled as like only fitness.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of times you do like being labeled as an athlete because it's a positive connotation, you know, and so we lose the fact that we have so much more to offer than just being an athlete. Or me, like mine's a little bit different because the military, I think that what I felt lost is I felt like I was doing a job that mattered. And then when I joined BASF and you're doing like cost estimating engineering, yeah, it matters to the company's bottom line.
Right.
But what I was doing like mattered to the country.
Right.
Like, granted, I didn't like go to war, but
Had a purpose.
But yeah, we had a purpose. Like we were doing things that were critical to national security. Like whether it was reconnaissance, whether it was like rite of passage, whether it was, you know, just showing force, just so other countries would be like, oh yeah, we really shouldn't mess with them because of what we're doing. You know, it felt like it mattered. So then all these other jobs, you're like, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not doing anything for like the greater good. I think something that's helped me fill that void for me is like mentorship, because I feel like that does matter. Like helping people become better at something. I don't know if that's why I like enjoy spending time with people and just like talking through things and stuff like that. But I think that's what I've found is mentorship. And you're right. I don't think it's ever going to fill the void other than like rejoining the military or creating some kind of like national defense contract type thing. Because I don't think it's going to be on that same scale. But at the same time, I think that's something that I found that fills that void for me is like a mentorship or just like helping people along, because then I feel like I'm making a positive impact in their life, and that's making a difference. So to me, it's like, where can I make a difference in someone's life? Maybe I can't make a difference in the entire nation's lives as far as like national security goes, but I can make a difference in someone's life for, you know, them just to do better or help them through a rough patch or whatever. So what about you?
I think for me, our senior season, like we had alumni come in the whole season and tell us, they're like, you know, once you take off the pads for the last time, like you're gonna miss it. Like, you know, enjoy what you have because you don't get to recreate this at all. And me, I'm just like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Just like, eh. And because I think for me, realizing that I had golf in the spring, playing competitively, that it was like, oh, I can still compete. And so like, I guess that's where I different from you is like, I knew I had another sport that I can be competitive in and like really challenge myself. So golf kind of took that and kind of eased the, I guess, feeling of like,
What you're missing, like the void.
Yeah,
The
void. Yeah.
Made the transition easier.
Would you say that you enjoy football more than golf though?
See, that's tough.
Okay. So it really is like a 50-50 type thing.
Because I knew that golf was something that I can like play and enjoy for like the rest of my life, that it was like, why not? And like right after college,
I didn't playing golf when you're like 80, dude.
Yeah, exactly. So I didn't get to walk at graduation because we had a golf tournament. So it didn't really feel like I graduated at all. So it was, the first year was just like really, really weird for me. It didn't feel like I completed
You were also on
something.
the golf team?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So it didn't feel like I completed college. Like it felt like there was an opening.
I will say, like, college graduation is a lot different than high school because you don't know anybody. You're walking the stage with like all these random people, and
I think
it just felt weird.
It's weird too. Is like some of your friends maybe aren't graduating at the same time as you. Like I graduated like earlier than the rest of my friends. I took like a really hard summer to get ahead so that I could, leave for the military, and most of them, so I graduated in December, and most of them weren't graduating until May. So I actually didn't walk with any of my friends from electrical engineering. They all walked like 6 months later. So it was really weird because I was like sitting there with a bunch of people, and they're all graduating with the same degree as you, and you're like, I've never even seen you before, bro. Yeah, like, who are you?
That's literally how it was for me.
I've never seen you.
Like, I was like desperately looking around for somebody to wave at. I was like, is anybody here?
Yeah, who are you? I don't even know who you are.
It's so fucking big, and it goes by school, like the different.
Yeah, so
we
graduated with the College of Engineering is one day, and then they had like civil, electrical, all these different engineers, and so like there was only like 20 electrical engineers graduating, and I was just like looking around, I was like, I don't know any of these people, But yeah, it was pretty funny.
I contemplating wearing like my speed suit under and just fucking like letting it go down. I was like, I don't want to do anything stupid.
Yeah, I've seen people do like backflips on the stage and then like break their heels and stuff like that. It's wild stuff. Wow. So yeah, I think that college graduation is different. So yeah, you're a very unique situation. But do you feel like you do miss, like, obviously playing golf right now is not competitive same way. It's more of like a leisure thing.
Correct.
So I know, and your flag football is competitive still. I mean, it is competitive.
Well,
like there's winners and losers. Yeah, you play in tournaments, and I know that sometimes it's just practice, but you are practicing for a competitive environment, and you don't really necessarily have anything that you're like, it's competitive. I know you can like.
We play on Sundays sometimes, but one of the
you're saying you play flag football.
Yeah.
Okay.
So flag football on Sunday.
So one of the main reasons I don't go is just like it's not organized, and like if I'm gonna play,
you want it to be organized.
I want it to be like what I was playing.
It's literally. I wouldn't even say it's that competitive either.
It's like a pickup basketball game.
Pickup. It's literally,
and it's hard because it's like you've played it at a certain level, and then you have to dumb it down now, and it's just like there's no point going.
Yeah, the other day I was like, okay, let's do a zone, and then these dudes like don't know what a zone defense is, and it's just like,
and they're just out there to have fun, and like we're out here like let's go, like.
So they're out there pretending to be, like they're in their minds they're like, this is I've been like showing up on the football team in college, this is me, and you guys are like man, I've lived this life, and I'm like trying to hold on to some of the memories of it. So it's like a completely different world. Like some people are playing pretend, and you're trying to live a memory.
Yes, correct.
I do. I've learned to just take it back. Okay, I'm just coming out here to have fun and run around. I don't take it that serious.
It's hard. It's hard though. It is hard.
Yeah. So I'd say so for you guys, is time been like the healer of like this person, like this persona? Like, do you feel? Because I mean, I still introduce like, oh yeah, Derek, he ran track for UT, and I do that, and I think it's just because it allows you to connect with people that were also athletes. Yeah. It's a good way to connect with them. But I do use it as a part of your identity. Does that bother you?
No.
Okay.
It doesn't bother me. But I'm also like, if nobody says it for me, I'm probably not going to tell you though.
Yeah.
Unless it comes up in conversation. But that's how I've always been with everything. But yeah, I would say time has definitely helped because you grow, right? You grow as a person, you learn things, and you learn to look back and reflect. So
well, and I feel like you formed new identities that are now just as important as being an athlete.
Right.
Maybe like the reason that being an athlete was so cool is because it did carry like a cool factor with it, right? So now, but you can tell people, well, I'm an entrepreneur, like I own a couple of businesses. Yeah. So then that cool factor, is like, oh wow, And
I definitely think like a lot of the things I learned from being an athlete and just being in that environment has helped translate into, my work ethic and being an entrepreneur, and has definitely reflected with me as a professional, in the business world. So
So what
I definitely do think time has helped for sure.
Okay, so what advice though would you give someone that is, that's transitioning out of that, whether they're a D3 athlete, D1 athlete, maybe they are going to still try to go pro, because I have a lot of friends that like have attempted for even years to make it pro. Maybe they like make it onto a practice squad, then they get cut, which I could think would probably make it feel just even worse, because you feel like you're just like right there, but you couldn't push through. But like, what kind of advice do you have for people like that? Is it like try to redefine like who you are, or is it about like finding things that make it not feel as bad?
I don't think it's necessarily redefining who you are, because like sports it's always going to be a part of you. I would say just be patient and finding another thing that you're going to fall in love with, because that's all it is it's falling in love with something other than that sport that you let become or embody you, right? So it may, I don't necessarily.
It's going to take a while, because for you ran track for probably 10 years or something like that. So, it's not going to happen overnight. You're not going to fall in love with something overnight. Right. It's going to take time, and that is what defined you, or, defined you in the past. So
and like you said earlier, it's such a small part, but I don't really think that's true, because doing something for 18 plus years of your life is not necessarily a small part. So it does become like who you are at the core. But yeah, I don't know. It was really hard for me. So I could just be patient with, something. You'll find, like, try different things, like play pickup, or, go to the gym, or, or find other video games. For some people may be their outlet, so it's not necessarily like the end of the world, but it definitely is difficult.
Yeah. And I think it's funny you said, it is a major part, because you did like 10 to 18 years of it, but like we all sleep for like 7-8 hours a night for our every day, right? And no one's gonna be like, well, I'm defined by my sleeping. But the reason is because everyone does it and it's not cool, right? I think that's really the part of it, is you're trying to find, it's almost like a social status thing. Like when I say I'm in the military, it immediately connects me to people that were in the military, or people that have friends or family in the military. When you tell someone you're an athlete, if they were an athlete, or they have someone that they know was an athlete, it kind of builds an instant connection with people. And I think that's the real difficulty, is you feel like you're losing that connection that you once had with a group of people. You're kind of like, almost like you're not part of that group anymore, because you're not actively an athlete anymore.
Correct.
And I think that maybe reframing that is like, maybe you're just not an active athlete anymore. No one's ever going to take away the fact that you ran track at Texas, so you were an athlete.
I guess it's also you can also look at it from the perspective of, how people say like, oh, just keep doing what you're passionate about. Yeah. And you're gonna, that's, and don't worry about making money or whatever. But, for somebody that's an athlete, you're maybe passionate about that, but then all of a sudden you can't do it anymore, unless you coach. Which,
but that brings back to my last podcast, where we talked about like finding, like, so maybe you are really fast, but you're not the fastest. Right. What else are you really good at that you can maybe create some kind of niche where you are the best, or one of the best, So for, you, it's like, honestly, flag football, you're probably like really good at it. You're fast, you're competitive, and then you're like, oh, you know what? I'm decent at football, and I'm good at track, so I'm fast. So like, let's combine it, and I'll be like, have a really good flag football team. Yeah. I think your team is really good. Yeah. So, I think that worked out for you, and I don't even think you probably even knew that you were doing it until after the fact. But
I would like, my best advice is just be patient and try, different things. Sounds weird, but
it makes sense.
You'll find something.
Or if like you find other former athletes, like you were talking about, that's kind of like a group in itself. It's like if you were talking to somebody and like, oh yeah, I played college football. I was like, oh really? What'd you play? And you just like instant bond.
Yeah. So someone asked me like, what do you miss the most about the military? And truthfully, it's the people. And I think that's probably the same thing y'all miss as athletes, is you miss your friends, because you build a bond with people that's just like so much. You share a huge part of your life. I mean, for the military, like I literally,
when you're showering with other dudes. It's a different bond, bro.
Yeah. And like every time,
too different.
Like on a serious note, like every time I was asleep, like a submarine is driving underwater. And it's going to periscope depth. It's navigating underwater. Like,
how was that?
You're trusting other people to not kill you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's literally like being on a road trip for 150 days, and you're sleeping in the back seat, hoping that the person driving isn't an idiot and runs into a semi or like takes you off the road,
or a whale.
Yeah, well, we've hit a well.
Really?
Yeah, you go right through them like butter, baby. We're bigger than them. Just you slice that
Dude,
bad
that's
boy.
sick.
The whole submarine shudders a
cool.
little bit, but that's it. You know.
Did you hit
So
one?
I mean,
Yeah.
I guess what?
Oh, that's awesome.
It's really just like not running into fucking
Mountains.
mountains.
Yeah, underwater mountains.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or when you're coming
crazy.
up, not running into a boat that's above you. Because that's
Titanic.
the Greenville did that. They came up and there was a
Oh,
boat
really?
above them. Yeah, they killed everyone.
I will say though, you're right though. You build that bond, and
R.I.P.
we still have a group chat. Like all of the guys that we ran track together, we're all still like best friends. So you do build that bond, and I guess that helps too. Is if you have each other to talk to, and you kind of just grow up together. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's just really important too. To like, you can let something be a part of your identity, but when people let it be their entire identity, that's when like when you're in a relationship and like you literally lose yourself because you're with this person. If you ever were to break up, like people are usually in shambles because there's like, who am I now?
Yeah.
Like I don't know anything without this person, and that's always what scares me is like when people don't have their own like hobbies or passions outside of the relationship. It's okay. It's okay to have things to do that you want to do on your own without your like. I love to play video games. I love to watch sports or whatever it is. You have to still keep those things because if you don't keep those things, then you kind of lose yourself in that. So
And then you associate everything that you do with that person of that person. Like if Selena and I only did this and I didn't do that on my own, then I associate with her. And it's,
so then when you're broken up, if you try to do those things, all you can think about is
exactly.
I can't go hiking now because I
we
only
went-
did it
yes.
with
Yeah.
Selena.
Yeah, exactly.
it's easy to get lost. It is easy to get lost.
Yeah,
But that is it. Yeah, that's really good relationship advice. Though is still try to have your me time is what Ashley and I call it. Like, okay, take your me time. I'll do my me time.
I actually really like it how you and Ashley do it. So, like, can we talk about that?
Yeah, sure. What?
Well, I mean, that you have that. Well,
like
you have
my
your
set days I play video games.
Yeah, I think it's really. I think it's really cool.
Share with us.
One because you can
Tell the world.
Well, go ahead and start telling people, and then we can give.
So I basically that's it. It's just like Tuesdays and Thursdays I play video games for like 3 hours at a set time, and while I do that, she does her whatever she wants to do,
like wine and watch movies.
And she literally watches like trashy TV,
Sex and the City,
stuff like that. Stuff that you
Selling
wouldn't normally
Sunset.
watch
Together.
Some guys don't really want to watch that.
Well, and I really think
I'll watch
that's.
it
I think
sometimes,
that's
but-
good because like, so what Aubrey and I do is like, it's kind of like, am I playing video games tonight? I don't know. And then she's like, well, I really want to watch, this show, and I don't want to watch it. So I end up going, okay, well, I guess I'll try to play video games. And then none of my friends are on, and then I just sit at my computer like watching Twitch or doing random stuff, and then you're just like, well, that was a waste. So it's actually cool because you're like on Tuesday and Thursday, your friends are going to be on, like y'all have like set it aside, and then the other one can do their thing. So I actually think that's a really cool.
And
idea,
there's some days where it's like, oh, hey, we're not getting on tonight or something like that. So I'm like, hey, babe, I'm probably not gonna play tonight, and she's like, okay, cool. Okay, we'll watch TV.
But you also had that free though. If you really want to, you could be
Sunset?
like, hey, Brad and Austin, I'm not playing tonight. Let's go to history class, or whatever. So
get freaking drunk.
get sloshed. Just kidding. I don't get sloshed. I just get high.
No, yeah,
Thursday.
but that's a good piece of advice. I guess like a real world example is like this weekend, Selena and I were around a lot of our friends, and like her social battery got kind of like drained, and I could definitely tell that on Monday when she came into the gym. Like we work out together sometimes, and she was just like, I'm dead, like meh. And I'm like, I know, I like you need to recharge a little bit because everybody needs a recharge, especially if they're around a lot of people and exhausting.
That's like Aubrey after
At least-
expos.
Yeah, at least once a month we try to have maybe a Saturday or Sunday where we literally just lay on the couch and don't do anything, watch TV, or just because we're so on the go, busy every day of the week. It's just sometimes you just need those recharge days, like you're saying.
When you have a baby, that's really hard.
Yeah.
But no, so like Saturday. So for example,
hour recharges when
Just
she's down
sleep.
for a nap.
Just
Yeah.
sleep. No, for example, Saturday, we are usually like homebodies on the weekends. Aubrey maybe goes to the gym, but I usually don't really leave here on the weekends. I don't.
Yeah.
I do stuff around the house. I play video games. I look whatever.
That's why when we saw your truck was gone, we're like, where the fuck did Brad go?
Yeah. So on Saturday, we met my sisters downstairs, and we had cookies with them at noon, like when the storefront opened. And then we went to the event that Ashley was at, and we stopped in for like 30 minutes so we could hang out and talk to people and stuff like that. And then we went to the beach, and we brought and we had like a picnic on the beach. And then we came back Letty took a nap, and then after Letty's nap, we went to my sister's house and had
yeah.
pizza at her house. So
that's a day.
it was a lot.
Yeah.
And
y'all.
I know it doesn't sound like a lot, but it was a lot for us.
That's a lot.
You know. So on Sunday,
Y'all could have just maybe did the beat. Y'all did it. Y'all packed it.
Yeah. Well, once you go ahead and wrangle her up into the car, you might as well just do everything.
Keep it out. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So when Sunday came around, I was like, I don't want to do anything.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to do that. So
It's good. It's good to have those days, and a lot of people will feel bad about doing that. And it's okay.
Yeah, I think that the truth is a lot of it comes down to just like discussing those things that you talk about. Like, Selena needs some recharge time. Y'all have like set up days and times that y'all do things. And I think that structure works really well for a lot of people. And it just really depends on relationships. Some relationships, they want to be gone all weekend doing stuff, hiking,
Yeah.
In fact, I think Gabby and Wade are more of like a go do stuff couple. Like they were gone, yesterday on their day off, they went to like 30A and had coffee and like did all that stuff. And I feel like every time they have a day off, they're like, they go do something. I'm just not like that. Cause I go, oh my gosh, that's too much. I'm just not.
We have some friends like that. They're literally booked like every weekend.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, Alex,
we can chill. Yeah.
I know. I'm like, man.
Like this weekend, I think I'm going to chill because next weekend we're going to Colorado. So it's like this weekend's just going to be like.
Yeah. He's going to be gone for the motive launch, by the way.
2 in a row, baby. Planning them out.
I know.
It's all right. It's a small little release.
Yeah, we should be like, hey, Austin, what's your schedule looking like? Because
in 4 months,
we need to plan out this motive launches. So
that's cool. What are y'all gonna do? Ski? You going skiing?
No, we're not gonna ski. We're gonna tube. Like snow,
is it? No,
tubing.
okay. So from
whitewater rafting.
I'm from Texas, so whenever you say tube, it means going to the river. So in my head, I was like, is it hot enough?
Oh my
Colorado?
gosh,
no way. They're tubing down.
It's gonna be like.
So tubing, I
high
do not
30s,
correlate
low
tubing
40s.
with snow.
Yeah, it's like snow tube, like on the hills.
It's a straight track.
That's cool.
Yeah, she kind of wants to go back next year and do some skiing
Is there a
stuff.
little ramp at the end that just eats you?
I've seen some of them that will.
Yeah,
I would do it.
I don't think
I'd
this
probably
one
do it.
does.
Speaking of yeeting you, have you ever done the Royal Flush in Austin?
The water slide one that
Yeah.
shoots you? No, I haven't. No.
So I did it for my birthday one year.
That looks fun.
It was a
I
blast.
think I remember you telling me that you were going to do that.
We invited you guys, but you couldn't go because it was the it was summer shredding. I think it was the weekend. It was the weekend of summer, like right after the summer shredding was happening. But we were going, like we literally left from there, went to Austin, like met up with Nick Bear and some of those friends, and then we went to the Royal Flush place.
Was it fun?
Oh my gosh, it was so much fun.
It's a lame
it was a
excuse,
blast.
There's like different levels, right?
Yeah, there's 4 of them, and
I wish there was one higher.
But they said that they actually get in trouble for the current highest one because people get hospitalized.
Because
Did you do
you
the
get
biggest
people
one?
that come off and they're just like,
Bro, you think that, but you have no body control. Like when you're in the air and you're like trying to move and you're like, I'm not moving.
you're trying to fly.
Yeah, and you're just like, oh.
Did you belly flop? Or did you like?
I definitely hit the water and got the wind knocked out of me a few times. Because I mean, I don't think they let you do it anymore. They used to let you do it like head first, feet first, upside down, backwards. I think now they're like
The
only feet
professionals
first.
probably are like head first, flips, dive.
Yeah, because I mean,
Sick.
It's a lot higher than you think it is too.
Yeah.
I mean, you get some. I mean, you're a good 20 feet up, like just swinging like a rag doll, you know. So
I want to try it though. I would do it.
it was a lot of fun. I mean, they let us fly our drone above it while we were doing it. So I mean,
That's
like they
cool.
let us do whatever we wanted to do, which is pretty cool. So I know Nick had his drone and he was like flying it up there, and then
Did they let you use a GoPro?
yeah,
If you haven't?
yeah, they did. I don't see, like, I think a lot of these people people end up getting injured and they have to revise those rules and they don't let you do that stuff anymore. And when I was there, they were building they're building like a lazy river.
Ooh.
It wasn't done.
yeah.
But I mean, because this was like,
Lazy rivers are dope.
I mean, this was probably 2017
Probably like a
or
little
something.
small water park now.
I think this was the first ever summer shredding that you guys did, that we went out there. And it may not even been summer shredding yet. It was the old gym, the old gym, where you had the distribution center like next door type situation. And there was like Max
Yeah, I
and
remember
Heidi
that.
and Christian were doing a meet and greet like right there, and Ashley walked us up to Max to introduce us because Max didn't know who we were. And we just like we talked to him, and Ashley was like, "Here, I'll let you get to the front of the line," because there's like a huge line.
Yeah, I remember that. I don't remember what it was, but I remember that.
I don't know if it was a grand opening of that gym or what, but it was.
Maybe.
I mean, it was packed. So
Yeah, there was a lot of people there. Maybe
Yeah.
it might have been the grand opening.
and remember the footage we saw of him doing
Yeah.
you were racing on the inflatables, and you were
Oh,
talking
yeah.
about how you were beating everybody on the inflatables out in the parking lot. Yeah. And like Rob Lipset was there, like you know, all these people. It was funny.
I remember that.
It was really funny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he looked
I saw the video the other day of me racing
shredded.
Devon.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's funny to go back at our old footage and just like look at it, because I mean we've known you now for a really long time, you know, and it's just that's a crazy story too. Just like how
I used to be big.
I feel like you're just like the same, like you just stayed the same size. I mean, maybe your arms and chest were bigger, but in general, like I feel like
I'm just deflated now is what it is.
yeah, if you got a pump, you'd look the same, you know.
Tom
Yeah,
Brady's footballs.
you're just not walking around with a pump
Deflategate.
anymore.
Deflategate.
But yeah, we're gonna do some hiking, and we're staying in the mountains for one night. Nice mountain Airbnb with a hot tub.
What's something that you
Essential.
used to? What's something that you do now that you didn't used to do? Like what's something that's like your and Selena's thing? You think is it hiking?
Yeah, I would say like just being outside.
Yeah.
I love being outside, but the fact that she likes it even more too, like, just makes it even better.
Yeah, because you never would be like, oh, I want to go on a solo hike.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
now that someone's there, you're like, okay, I'll go hiking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're just spending time with her outside, doing really whatever.
What's something that you do with Ashley that you wouldn't like that you? I know y'all been dating for so long. It feels probably like everything that y'all do is like, but like, what's something that you feel like you do now with her, or you do regularly that you wouldn't do without her?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Vacation probably.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean,
You mean like
Yeah.
for me, it's go to the beach. Like I've lived here my whole life, and I like
absolutely
rarely go to the beach.
You
But
hate it.
Aubrey loves going to the beach, so I go because she wants to go.
honestly like because I'm a homebody too, so it's
Yeah.
like anytime she wants to do something, it's all right.
Yeah.
Even like going to dinner or something.
Yeah, I'm a homebody
or
too.
Going to drinks. I'm like, okay.
I don't know why though. It's like I have fun every time I go out. It's almost like I just don't like the chore of like going, like planning out the day. That's really what it is. I don't want to like decide where we're going, like do like it's just too much work. If you're like, hey, I want to go to Target, I'm like, okay, I'll go with you. But if you're like, hey, let's go somewhere, I'm like, oh, fuck, man, it's too much.
See, with me though, it's anytime I say, hey, let's go to dinner, let's go to movie, let's go do this. She's like, okay, I'm
Yeah.
down.
Say less.
I'm down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think
Spontaneous.
she's ever said no to anything like that.
Yeah, Aubrey won't say no to it either, but like it turns into me like me having to plan it, and that's what I just like don't want to plan out this day. Like, it's so much work.
There was one time at the Sweet Bay house where we're like, Brad, we're gonna go to the beach. Do you want to come? And he's like, why would I go to the beach when the pool's right there? He's like, it's a 30-minute drive to the beach, and then an hour at the beach, and then a 30-minute drive back. That's 2 hours, and I can take 5 minutes and walk to the pool and get the same thing. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, and I hate sand.
Yeah.
And it's just
I hate
like,
sand too. It gets everywhere.
you know, if we lived on the beach and I just walk out there, it'd be
Yeah.
fine with me. I'd rinse off my feet at the
That's my
back
biggest
porch.
pet peeve,
You know,
is y'all
like
don't have feet wash stations.
they do
beach?
the state park.
Yeah, but that's like the only, like in California where I'm from, like if there's a public access,
Yeah.
like a foot wash station, shower, everywhere.
There's one at the dog beach.
Yeah, but that's like, but the other ones like Nova Street or like there's
Yeah, he's talking about, like, yeah, there's-
access.
Yeah, there's
no-
access is like, I mean, there's access like every mile down the beach. You know, access 29. They're outnumbered
16,
too. Yeah, so
69.
Bring a little portable
Oh, well, I use my hydro
power
jug.
wash.
The hydro jug is good. I'll drink half of it and then save the other half for my feet.
That is actually a smart idea, because it would get hot enough in your car, like if you left it in the back, that it would be like warm to like wash your feet off.
They say
Little
baby
shower.
powder does it too. I've never tried that.
I will tell you, when we went to the beach just recently, because I didn't sweat and because it didn't get wet from like the water, it wipes right off. Our sand wipes right off if you aren't like wet or sweaty. But the problem is,
If you don't
the
have
only time
sweaty
you
feet.
aren't wet and sweaty is like 1 month out of the year in Panama City.
This month.
Yeah, and
month.
it's probably like
I know, dude. It's freaking 39 degrees outside.
I know. I saw
supposed
you
to get
scraping
worse.
your thing. I was like, bro, you could just turn on the heat for like 2 seconds and it would be.
But I
gone.
did. I started my car
And
in
he's
the
an
house.
Iowa boy. He does it the right way.
Yeah, I know. I saw
come
him
on.
doing that.
Gotta do it right.
You're supposed to pour like hot water on it.
Yeah. Well, so Caitlin,
If you,
No, I'm
no,
just
that
kidding.
shatters
No, I
it,
know.
doesn't it? You can put hot
was gonna
water.
see if he was
You can
gonna
put hot
correct
water
me.
in a bag and like rub it on there.
Yeah.
I've seen people do that.
so Caitlin responded to my story and she's like, dang, I wish I would have saw this earlier. I took the hose out and washed my windshield to get the ice off
Yeah.
to
And did it
drive
work?
into town. Yeah. And I was like, yeah, just use your like ID or your credit card or.
But if it was colder, that would have fucked her shit up, though, right?
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah, if it's cold enough, you will shatter your
Yes,
windshield with a
Southern-
difference in
Southerners
temperatures.
don't know, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think it doesn't get cold enough here to even worry
No, it
about like
doesn't,
that
yeah.
stuff. Like we have no freeze protection on
Has it
any of
ever
the lines.
snowed
If you
here?
look at that, it snowed here in 1989.
There was frost on the ground. There's this.
Yeah, but it actually snowed here in 1989.
Yeah.
I was 2.
Did it make you happy seeing the frost?
Wow.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
yeah.
Did it make you happy seeing the frost?
I mean, I can show you pictures of it like actually snowing here.
Austin's from Iowa. So
After the gym, so this is a northern or Midwest thing, is you put all the windows down, you blast the heat, and you just drive. in the cold like this feels great. So I was doing it this morning and people were looking at me like, bro, what is this guy doing? Hand out the window, waving through the air.
Ashley hates seat warmers and she actually used them
really?
today.
Wow. Why does she hate seat warmers?
I don't know. She doesn't like her ass being hot, I guess.
I sweat everywhere. So, I mean, like when mine's on, my butt's like sweating and shit. It's kind of annoying.
Yeah.
I was seeing if I could find the photos of when it snowed here. And
sometimes I mistake
here it
the
is.
sand.
Here it is. See? Actual snow.
Wow. Look, he made a snowman.
Yeah. See? 1989. That's Jacksonville, but same thing. This is what we got.
Jacksonville, same thing. 6 hours away, same thing.
Same thing.
It's same.
Yeah. Same.
It's only 4 hours away, Jacksonville.
Panhandle.
It's only 4
Yeah,
hours.
Jacksonville's the closest biggest city to us. Believe it
4
or
hours?
not. Yeah.
It's so weird.
Pensacola is a big
literally on
city, is it not?
It's weird that Jacksonville is closer since it's like on the opposite end of Florida.
But it's straight.
Right.
Yeah. Atlanta's only 4.5 hours too.
That's true.
So, and New Orleans is 5 hours. I mean, the problem with Panama City is that you're like really close to everything, but not that close to it. I mean, you can get to, New Orleans, 5.5 hours, Atlanta, 4.5 hours, Jacksonville, 4 hours, Tampa is 5.5 hours, Orlando is 5.5 hours, Gainesville is about
just
3.5 hours, but it's
5
like,
hours. Yeah.
yeah. That's what I told someone. I was like, truthfully, if you want to live somewhere that you're close to everything, like Gainesville is only like an hour and a half to Jacksonville, an hour and a half to Tampa, an hour and a half to Orlando, 4 hours to Miami. Like that's like pretty close to everything. But because we're in the Panhandle, we're just not close to anything. But you're close to the beautiful beach.
The beach. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you think about living anywhere else when y'all came back?
Yeah, I definitely considered it, but really the truth is Fat and Weird would not have been successful if I didn't have the support of my family. And our friends to help us get it off the ground. I mean, there was so much we relied on as far as like friends helping us with like packing orders and things like that. It's kind of like, what you did with Outfleet in the beginning. Like, people can say what they want to say, but like without that support, like I don't think even people realize like how crucial they were in Fat and Weird. Because if we wouldn't have done that, then we wouldn't have been able to get it off the ground. Like if my parents didn't offer their warehouse, like how else am I going to order custom boxes by like the tens of thousands unless I have a warehouse to deliver it to? And my mom let me store stuff there because we didn't have space. Like there's no way that we would have been able to get it. That's why when people are like, oh, are you worried about someone like copying Fat and Weird? I'm like, it's a lot harder because we had a lot of things working for us. Not that we didn't like work hard on it, but like we had a lot of perks built in that a lot of people didn't necessarily have, to grow it. So
it definitely helps for sure.
Yeah. I mean, if you can start a clothing company in your house because all you need is a garage. But like, you can't start a cookie company in your house because you have to use a health inspected kitchen.
Yeah.
And then you saw we stored boxes in the garages, but like you can't. You can't really pack orders. That I mean, like it's a lot harder with the cookie situation. So
for sure.
It's easier to. Yeah, I definitely think you can start one. You can start a good cookie company, but you won't be able to reach the scale unless you
it's
invest
hard to
in
scale it.
Yeah, for sure. So, but. I think that, we've been here about 45 minutes, so we can start with our...
Would you rather?
Yeah, would you rather?
Looking at it.
Unless y'all have anything else...
I saw you out of the corner of my eye. I'm like, he's fucking doing his homework.
Is there anything else that y'all feel like is beneficial that we didn't really touch on with that?
No, I totally agree with what Derek said.
And I think staying connected to this group, because there's still people in the military, like Joe, my friend. Joe. You met Joe. I still talk to him. Joe came out to support our
Is he coming for Cookie Fest?
Yeah, he's coming for Cookie Fest.
Hell yes.
He's funny.
Yeah, I love Joe. But anyways, so like people like that, I think really help too, because you built a friendship there, and that doesn't mean just because you're not in the military anymore, and he's still in. Just because you're not doesn't mean that you lose that friendship with them. Y'all definitely shared some it's part of your life together. So
yeah, I think you're also that they're going through the same thing as you.
Yeah,
like they're also losing their identity, and you see like how they're navigating, and you kind of use each other as a support system or inspiration, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a big thing.
Yeah, you definitely, they relate with you. So yeah, definitely keep in touch.
Yeah.
I mean, it's different when you like blood, sweat, and tears with people, man.
Yeah. I mean, I can imagine.
Yeah. If you,
I went through casualty response. I went through casualty responses, like literally, like there was a fire, like a legitimate fire on the submarine, which is one of the worst things, right? Because smoke fills up everything, and like you need to get to the surface. Like it's a way bigger deal, on a sub as opposed to like a ship, because a ship you like can get out of that area, walk away. Like on a sub, like you can shut that compartment down, but like that compartment is either the engine room or like navigation. Like it serves a purpose. So you got to put the fire out. So like, a lot of these.
Is it also more dangerous since it was like nuclear submarine?
No, the nuclear reactor, bro, it's like, I mean, it's behind a wall that's like so thick, and there's like so much in between you and the reactor portion of it. But like, we had flooding, but it was a tank that overfilled, but they thought that there was like a penetration in the hole, and we started getting flooding in, and people like called away flooding. And that was a scary moment. You wake up and you hear the submarines flooding and you're like, what the fuck, so
that has to be crazy.
This is it. This is how I die.
I know, yeah. And then sometimes you're like, is this real, or is this like a casualty drill? Like, 'cause they don't tell you sometimes they're running drills, like it's a surprise drill.
Actually fucking annoying.
I actually saw that the U.S. actually just surfaced one of their nuclear submarines, like at a port somewhere to kind of like flex. I don't know if you saw that article or not.
No, but I mean, we did that around. So I don't know if you know this, but China has some islands, but really all they did was find like sandbars out there that were like underwater, and they brought dirt and built an island. Okay. Smart. And then they're like, this is our island. And we were like, okay. And then they're like, we own all the water within 250 miles of it. But because they did that, they started like owning ways that merchants like drive in and out of things, and they would like try to tell them they couldn't go that way and all this stuff. Well, the U.S. only recognizes 12 nautical miles. And then after 12 nautical miles, you're in international waters. Yeah. It doesn't matter what country you are. Anyone can drive 12 nautical miles off of the coast of your country. So we surfaced our submarine and like drove right past their islands as like a flex of like, come at us.
Please.
We're here. Because if they attacked us, then we would say that's an act of war because we were in international waters. So there's a constant flex between the countries. Like, but
it is. It's a power struggle, man.
That's stressful.
It is. Yeah, it is.
Sweaty.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
on to lighter notes.
Life-ending things.
Okay.
Would you rather experience the world's beginning or the world's ending? I feel like that one's probably kind of...
I don't know. You say that, but like somewhat intrigued about the world's ending.
Right.
Both.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
Give me the beginning. Give it to me.
You want to see where we came from?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's because
I think the world's beginning is human beginning though.
Yeah, because I'm religious, and I would say, well, I kind of know how the world started, but also I could say that I have read Revelations and can see how the world ends. As long as I wasn't actually in it, I would like to see the ending. But if I was in it, then I'll choose the beginning, because I definitely don't want to be
if you were like in a Scrooge situation where it's like you're floating above it or whatever. Like you're not there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd want to see the ending.
I think both would be cool.
I would love to see the ending.
I'd take either. Flip a coin for me.
Because I wonder if it's gonna be like natural or it's man ending the world, like nuclear holocaust type situation. Because people think
it's a situation where someone's trying to flex and they're like, "Oh, shoot him down."
Yeah.
Because I'll tell you this, like war. I'll tell you this from my knowledge of nuclear power. It doesn't matter if you have a nuclear bunker, and all this food. If someone were to like nuke the entire world, the radiation would be there for so long that you would have to like live in your bunker. I mean, you've seen these stories. People like you'd have to live in your bunker for like 20 plus years.
For example, it's still unlivable, right?
Now you can visit it now, though.
Yeah, you can. Yes,
but it took that long to visit it. So I think that cool. if you really were to like really just like nuke the shit out of the world, like I think that everyone's dead.
Did you ever play Fallout? Be like
Fallout? No, I didn't play that. But I mean, you would have to live in your nuclear bunker for so long that like your life wouldn't be worth living. You would have to reproduce, and then I don't even know if you could like survive it long enough to like continue on like reproducing. You know what I mean?
It's or just go to the space. Plot of Fallout.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. It's like post-apocalyptic.
Yeah. You go to space and then you live up there. And
we're going to Mars, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a Netflix show about that. It's called The 100. It's decent.
Oh, I saw that. And after that one guy died that I really liked in the beginning because the girl stabbed him.
Yep.
I was like, I'm done with the show. So I quit watching it.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, but no one knows who that is. You know because you watched it.
Yeah, I watched that.
If you like stabbed him right in the neck.
Yeah.
So there's this show called Yellow Jackets.
Ooh, I got a recommendation for that.
Really? What's it about? Oh God, Jesus.
It's about a girls' high school team, and they're like on their way to nationals, and their plane crashes, and it kind of goes, they survive, but I guess they do some fucked up shit to survive. So it kind of like bounces back and forth between pet, present, and like what happened. It's actually pretty intriguing.
So I actually really enjoyed Hype House.
I never.
It's on Netflix, and it's a documentary about a TikTok house called the Hype House.
Oh, Hype House. I thought you said Hi Pals.
That's what I said. That's
Hype
what I thought.
House.
I was like, Hype House.
Okay, but anyways, the reason I
I
really
see that being a show though.
Yeah, Hype House.
Two high dudes.
but
Hype House.
the reason that I found
Podcast name.
the reason I find
Hype
it
House.
really good is because the kids are young, like they're 17 to like 24, like they're really young. But they start talking about like their mental health, and like one of the kids does YouTubes, and he spends like $10,000 per YouTube video, like making YouTube videos. And he talks about how like he rented this thing to spin them around, and like the guys got in it. It wasn't a great video, and he's like, "There's $700 I just wasted on like a video that's not going to work." And he talks about his mental health, how like his subscribers aren't growing as fast, and how his videos aren't getting as much views, and how he feels this like pressure and like all this stuff. And I think I kind of related to it because
identity.
yeah, well, I related to it because like I sometimes feel that way when Fat and Weird Cookie
Full
like
circle.
doesn't have a good week, or like sales are down. Like I'm like, oh no, like what's going on, you know? And I think it is tough sometimes to have these businesses that rely on social media's presence. So yeah, it can be difficult. And I just related a lot to some of the stuff on a much smaller scale. And I also could be like, these kids are not going to be in a good place later on in their life if they don't like get some kind of balance. Because one guy, his entire relationship with his girl, they built their TikTok following. Like he got kicked out of his house, was homeless. He like went to Hawaii because they were like Snapchat buddies, and they ended up started dating, and they built everything together. So their relationship and social media is kind of blurred about what is off limits, because they shared everything. So it was kind of this blur, and she was like wanting more boundaries, and he's like, no, we need to share everything to keep people involved in our life. So yeah, it was definitely interesting. I like the show.
Balance, yeah.
I really like it. I think that you guys will probably benefit from watching it, just from seeing like what the pressure of like the influencer life.
Yeah.
I feel like Jordan was on like Dr. Remix. I feel like he was on one of those.
Oh, he was in a Hype House. He was, I forgot which one he was in, but he was in the house. And it actually talks about at the very end of that show how many houses have fallen. The Hype House was the only one that survived as long as it did, because most of the time they just threw content creators in there. The Hype House one, they kind of like put friends in there and like created a culture, whereas the other ones are like hey, this guy has 10 million followers, this guy has 10 million, this has 5. Like, here you go, y'all hang out and grow your community together. And that's not how they did it at the Hype House.
It's like the new generation of Real World.
Do you want to know who paid for the Hype House though?
What?
Bang.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Nice.
They were one of they required like 8 videos a month.
Yeah.
That's it. And they paid for that entire house in LA. I think it was like $80,000 a month.
That's insane.
Yeah. So just let you know how much money Bang's making. Like, geez.
So we should have our sister podcast,
High Pals.
High Pals. Okay.
We get high.
High Pals.
Yeah, but Austin only
Pals.
smokes like once in a blue moon. So
Austin will do it. He'll do it.
I'll be high next week. Legally.
he doesn't smoke with me. I guess it's like
altitude.
Yep. Mile high.
But it's legal there, so in
Yes.
Denver, recreational. So
Very legal.
yeah, very legal. Okay.
So there's like this root beer. It's really good. You should try it.
Bro, we drank that in Vegas.
It's like Highball. No,
Yeah. We drank.
it wasn't the same one though.
Yeah, I know, but we
I'll
we
find
drank
it.
the sodas.
All right.
I like
Do
sodas.
you want to find another one,
that's,
or do you want to end it on that?
Find another one.
Jeez.
I can find some good would you rather's too. Maybe I don't know. See if I can
Find
find one.
another. I'll entertain everybody.
This one's funny. This one's funny to me.
Never
I
mind.
don't want to answer this one, but this is actually funny how they worded it. Would you rather end world hunger or stop crime all over the United States? Like, why limit it to the United
I
States?
would probably end world hunger because it feels like that's a greater impact.
It's like, so, fuck everybody else. I'm only stopping crime in the U.S.
Yeah, I mean that is pretty like
That's bad.
Okay, so end world hunger or stop crime all over the world. Would be that.
I feel like I'd still want to end world hunger.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of the crime is based on that.
Yeah.
The money is the motive.
The money is the motive.
Got my mind on my money and motive on my mind.
What's your motive?
Would you rather have baby vomit on you or vomit on a baby?
I'm vomiting on a baby. You kidding me? Give me that baby.
Line that baby up.
These are like stupid. Would you rather be covered in fur or covered in scales?
Exactly. You guys are giving me.
No, I think I think
this.
fur would be
Okay,
good.
this is actually a good one. Would you rather know the history of every object you touched, or be able to talk to animals?
Talk to animals. Anytime there's talk to animals, I'm choosing talk to animals. Like I want to know. I want to know what Relay's thinking, bro.
I want to know what the fucking random squirrel outside's thinking.
I want to talk to Relay and just see what's on his mind.
Would you rather be married to a 10 with a bad personality or a 6 with amazing personality?
6, amazing.
I'll take the 6. You can probably dress her up a little bit, you know?
Yeah. Beauty's in the eye of the beholder, so.
Bro, there's guys
I'd
who
also
look like
pick a 6.
girls with makeup on.
I'm probably a 6, so 6 would be fine with me.
Okay, here's your animal one. Would you rather only be able to talk to land animals, animals that fly, or animals that live under the water?
Ooh. So, flying animals, I feel like if you were going to go up and try to talk to them, they just go, pew, gone.
Maybe.
No, then you catch them like that seagull video.
Like us, yeah. I would pick land animals.
Yes, I agree.
Those are the ones that can kill you. Like, whoa, buddy. Hey,
let's talk this out.
Yeah, let's talk this out.
So,
or a shark.
No, you could talk to a shark. That is pretty dope.
I'm intrigued by
get under the water and
by water animals because the ocean is so vast and like unexplored. You can just ask them like, "What's going on down there?"
Yeah, but can they even get down there?
Maybe.
Like some of the species can't even go down there. Like I know have you seen that documentary where they take the deep sea vessel down there? Like there's stuff down there I've never even seen before.
Yeah.
That's what's so crazy.
And some creepy shit. They found like a whale carcass down there and there was these things that eat the bones. They're like these little worms. It's creepy shit.
Dude, there's so much in the ocean that is unexplored.
Rodrigo, water.
Yeah, I'd say water or land is the two I'd be between. But I feel like I'd pick land. But when you're this close to the ocean, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Also, my question is: are the water animals dicks, or are they like cool? You know, like are land animals dicks? Like I don't.
Most of them.
You think a lion's just like a douche? You know, like
I don't know.
You know,
I would just like to talk to my dogs.
That's So you'd have to pick land animals.
Yeah.
So throw your dog in the water.
Wouldn't you want to know why Miley's like freaking out all the time?
Yeah, I'd be like, Miley, just chill, bro. I would 100%.
I am not going to leave you. You can chill here. Like, relax.
Yeah, I'll be right back. Don't mess anything up, or else I'm gonna beat your ass when I get back. Not really.
And then you can talk to animals, and all of a sudden, animals just don't like humans. They're like, bro, y'all are dicks.
I feel like they already don't like us.
We're the dicks, not the animals.
I know,
bro.
it's probably true. All right, I hope you enjoyed the podcast. We need like an outro.
Okay, goodbye.